Many months ago, I promised the American people that I would withdraw from the race if I became a spoiler. A spoiler is someone who will alter the outcome of the election but has no chance of winning. In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to electoral victory in the face of this relentless systematic censorship and media control. In about 10 battleground states where my presence would be a spoiler, I'm going to remove my name, and I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me. It's with a sense of victory and not defeat that I'm suspending my campaign activities. And now, to throw my support to President Trump.
Hot off the presses, my freedom-loving friends, RFK Jr. drops out and endorses President Trump. What is the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of this? We'll give you a quick snapshot in just a second. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters because truth conquers. So this is huge news. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. drops out and endorses President Trump. Many are saying, given a free and fair election, that's a big assumption, but many are saying this is the nail in the coffin for Kamala Harris. We'll get into that in a second, but first, an absolute prophet, Scott Adams, the author of the Dilbert comics, who the left has just really developed a rabid hatred of because this is a man of common sense. So Scott Adams put out a very prophetic tweet almost a year ago predicting just this, and predicting Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will be the one person in America deciding who our next president is. Check it out. Posted on, October 5th, 2023. Did you realize Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the only person who will decide who the next president is? He just has to run as a third party, which RFK then did, and watch the polling to see who he takes the most votes from. Then he can either stay in or leave, depending on who he wants to win. Shorter, Trump already won. So this is Scott Adams predicting this almost a year ago. That dude has some insight. Now, some of the comments are funny. We'll get to the overall, what does this mean from my delusional perspective in just a second. But first, the comments. Bobby is a hard leftist. He will throw it for Biden. That didn't age well. Trump won't be the GOP candidate. Bank on it. That one didn't age well. This one, this one's interesting. Keep in mind, this is posted October 5th, 2023. I predict they won't let Trump win. Little rigged election kind of thing. Still yet to be seen. Some emergency will take place to prevent the election. Did the World Health Organization just announce that they're declaring a worldwide monkeypox emergency? Okay, we got something there in play. Or they'll kill Trump or something. Well, they tried to assassinate him. This lady, I need to have her give me some lottery numbers. So, to RFK Jr. dropping out and endorsing Trump. Take a look.
In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to electoral victory in the face of this relentless systematic censorship and media control. It's with a sense of victory and not defeat that I'm suspending my campaign activities. And now, to throw my support President Trump.
So, to the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of this. First off, I would say the good. It appears as though this will certainly help Trump because Kennedy, apparently he was polling about 10% before they tried to assassinate President Trump. Hello, DNC. And then after the assassination, Trump comes up looking super strong, just iconic moment. I think that was a paradigm shift in American history. Then support for Trump obviously rose, and then Kennedy's numbers dropped from about 10% in the polls to around 5%. I think it's always good to acknowledge reality. I love that RFK Jr. ran. I love the guy. I've loved Trump the whole way through. So I love that Kennedy wants to serve America. So he went to the big inconvenience of running for president and had to jump through hoops in order to do it. So acknowledging the reality. He's doing this. He's okay. There's not a viable way for me to win at this point. And one of Kennedy's biggest concerns, I've been with him in person, hearing him say this, his biggest concern is top-down totalitarian control. He's seen this being implemented in our country. We've seen it. cut to COVID, that kind of thing. And we can all see, including him, that's what Kamala Harris stands for. She's ushering in more totalitarian control. All her policies are nothing but communism stated in ways that try to appeal to people. It's just communism. So Kennedy certainly knows Kamala would be terrible for this country. So not only would he not support her, but potentially taking votes away from Trump could better the chances of Kamala winning a free and fair election. So I think he knows for the good of the country, Kamala is not aligned with that. So given that Kennedy can't win, Trump, a much better choice for the country, far and away better than Kamala. So we'll get back to this in just a second, but first, do you ever wish you looked better, felt better, and had more energy? Because here's one thing I know, your health is the most valuable asset you'll ever have. But the problem is our normal healthcare system is nothing more than a disease management system. So if having maximum energy, looking and feeling great in your body is what you want, health optimization is what you need. And nobody does it better than Merrick Health. Regular healthcare typically denies progressive treatment options, comprehensive lab work, and it all lags years behind the leading research. Merrick Health represents a paradigm shift in how we approach medicine, empowering you to maximize your longevity and performance with the confidence that comes from having experts in your back pocket. That's why I use and trust Merrick Health when it comes to my health optimization. From hormone and cognitive enhancement to body composition, Merrick Health has you covered, all from the comfort of your home. Merrick's optimization package is the same elaborate panel that I get for myself, and with those test results, Merrick Health's clinical team coaches me on my personal protocol. To get the exact same panel and medical oversight that I get myself, click the link in the video description or go to merrickhealth.com/JPReacts and use code JPReacts to get 10% off at checkout. You owe it to your health. Now back to the video. Not only would Kennedy not be taking votes for Trump by dropping out and endorsing him, he's potentially providing more votes to him by way of people who otherwise weren't going to vote for Trump. They would have voted Democrat. Then they connect with Kennedy the past few months, like, I like this guy. And Kennedy's influence of saying, I endorse President Trump, would sway some of those would-be leftist voters to, okay, Trump, yeah, cool. So I think this is a very selfless move by Kennedy that's aimed at genuinely the good of our country. What a selfish scenario would have been is for him to come from pride and say, yeah, I've been running for president for like a year now, and I'm going to go across the finish line. Cool. I'm going to be 100% loyal to everybody that supported me. We're going to go across the finish line. Whoever I pull votes away from, even if that actually makes Kamala elected, so be it. I'm going to just finish what I started. Now, that's admirable in some respect, but when you can see the reality in front of you that, well, you're not going to win, you're going to help get Kamala potentially elected, that would be selfish. So I think it's more admirable to be humble, act out the humbleness and say, for the good of the country, not necessarily the good of myself, I'm going to support President Trump, which is also for the good of Kennedy because he lives in this country too. And by the way, that's outside of, does Trump then hand him some kind of cabinet position, which I think would, maybe that appeases Kennedy, but more so, I think that helps serve the country better because I think Kennedy would be amazing in some sort of cabinet position. Could you imagine if RFK Jr. had Fauci's old job? Good Lord, that would be amazing. Or Trump appoints Kennedy to be the head of the CIA. God love it. That would be amazing. Now, here's the only ugly that I see is some people in RFK Jr.'s base getting mad and outraged at him because they say, hey, I pledged my loyalty to you. I donated to your campaign. I feel betrayed by you for dropping out. I don't like that. So you're endorsing Trump. Screw you. You betrayed me. Now I'm going to vote for Kamala just to spite you. I guarantee there's some people that will feel that level of betrayal and probably act emotionally and just, cool, I'll do the opposite. You know, Kennedy, he's no good anymore. He betrayed us. I think that would be a small small percentage, but there's of course going to be some people in his base that would think that way. And there's certainly going to be people, I think a much bigger percentage of people in his base that would think logically and see Kennedy has the best interest of everybody in mind. And they say, yeah, okay, we can see at this point you're not going to win. We see that you see that. You're looking for the good of the country. So you're doing what's right for the good of the whole, not the good of your individual. So I think that would actually make more people see him as having even more integrity. That would be the bad and the ugly as I see it. And then the beautiful would be, hopefully this ensures Trump gets elected. And just the cherry on top is hopefully Kennedy has a meaningful position in Trump's cabinet where he can affect more change than if he carried his campaign across the finish line. I think that would be amazing. If you listen to RFK Jr. speak on podcasts or from the podium, he's not doing political stuff. He is speaking with substance. He is giving information. He's giving very legitimate examples of corruption, well documented, well cited, well researched, while providing solutions. And I would love to see Kennedy in a position of power in Trump's cabinet to help affect a lot of that change we so desperately need, because so much is corrupt, where the government has become an organism that uses the people to serve it. I think both Kennedy and Trump know the purpose of the government is to serve the people, not have the people serve it. So that's the latest and breaking, and this could be very meaningful for the overall good of our country and future, and certainly the outcome of the election. Stay tuned for what happens at 3 a.m. on election night. Sometimes there's just weird irregularities, but aside from that, I think this is very meaningful to bring the election into a good outcome that's in America's best interest, rather than totalitarian control that wants to obliterate everything America stands for. That's what I think about this latest breaking news. Let me know what you think about RFK Jr. dropping out and endorsing Trump in the comments below, whether you agree, disagree, however you see it. I would love to learn how you think. So let me know in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next video. But until then, let's make America great again.